Ladies and gentlemen, fight fans all around the world, from the sunny Caribbean, you are watching What You Need.
We're talking about he's as far away from Manny Pacquiao as a table length. More than 5 feet away from Manny Pacquiao there. Manny Pacquiao has to get around this lead foot to get to Floyd Mayweather. He can reach in as much as he wants. He's not going to hit him unless he gets around this lead foot. We're going to look at Floyd Mayweather here versus Guerrero. Again, his lead foot, if you notice, his lead foot is, again, close to Guerrero. His head is far away from Guerrero. So Guerrero has to get around that lead foot, which is what he's trying to do here, and reach in a table length towards Floyd Mayweather's head, which is not a good idea, but nonetheless. But here's the thing. His torso is right now lined up with the ropes. But that's a false impression because basically his waist is at an angle to his feet. In other words, Floyd Mayweather can roll his shoulder and his waist and he will line up with his leg, and that will block this punch pretty much and protect his chin. So if he was to roll his shoulder this way, it actually block that punch. In addition to that, he could drop levels. He could sit into his stance and drop levels and be about 2 feet off the ground and cause Robert Guerrero to completely miss his body. Not only that, but even in dropping levels, he has inbuilt defense 2 ways. The first one is his shoulder, which will protect his chin, and the second thing is this guard here, which he can use and put right here to catch a punch. The same thing is here in the case of Manny Pacquiao himself. Here you see that his shoulder is here, but he can turn it with his waist to line it up with his foot, and that's where he would block the punches. So Pacquiao has to go all the way around his foot, which he did, but he's squared up, as you can see. He has to go all the way around his foot, hope that Mayweather doesn't counterpunch him, because he can counterpunch in this stance. And the other thing he has to do is throw his combinations, feint, throw his combinations, and hope that Floyd Mayweather doesn't do this. Where here he again changed levels, just like he did against Robert Guerrero, another southpaw, and therefore roll under the punch. He can roll under and into you, or he can roll under and away from you. So if you look at Nonito Donaire's face, it's busted up, it's damaged. He's in a war now. He has to fight. It's a battle of attrition, and he succeeded in doing that. But he could have made his night a lot easier if he invested in Juarez's body. And the jab to the pit would have really set him up for a lot of other options and punches and keep Juarez off balance. Of course, he would have to have timing, but the jab to the pit would have made a big difference and helped him to mount his offense on Juarez while pivoting to the side, hopefully to the weak side of Juarez, which would have been to his left. So here you see Nonito Donaire. He's jabbing as he's pivoting, which is very good, off the front foot. But now he's got a problem. He's trying to really keep Juarez off of him. That's all he's trying to do. He's not really trying to set a trap so that Juarez will walk into it. And the reason is because he's got predictable in his combinations, that he will counter Juarez over the top and that he's looking to land a left hook to the body. But other than that, he doesn't really have any other tool for Juarez, so Juarez starts to throw his jab, doesn't respect him. See, this is all he does with Juarez, and Juarez is expecting that. But if he had mixed up his shots by landing a nice stiff jab to the body, then he could have started to set up other punches and mix punches from the head to the body. He needed to mix it up, and that was his problem, mostly. Now, against the ropes here, watch what he does. Again, he's just kind of trying to shell up. He's posturing in the shell, but he doesn't really know the shell very well. What he can do is use the peekaboo guard, mostly. Lands a nice jab, though. But he gets hit with shots because when Juarez is coming in, he's not throwing anything to keep him off him. And anything that he does throw, Juarez is blocking because it's exclusively headshots. Alright? See, all here, he should be countering to the body right here. As you shell up, you counter to the body. But Juarez instead is the one going to the body. So that's why Donaire was all gassed. A lot of young bucks will see Floyd Mayweather do certain things off the ropes and they say, oh, it's so pretty. But the truth be told, it's fundamentally sound. He has to control his opponent before he can do these things. So it's important for you to understand. And again, the point behind doing these things is because his opponent is not expecting it and they're caught off balance. So I hope that these little pointers will help other boxers not be in situations like how Nonito Donaire was down the stretch. There's certain things he didn't put in place, and that ended up having him to fight his way off the ropes. He was receiving a lot of unnecessary punishment. Like, there's no way you should be having your opponent rest his forearm on you to gauge distance to find targeted range so he can beat on you like that. Okay? And that's where Donaire, he has to know how to fight smart, not just fight with all that heart that he has and make the fight more difficult than it really should have been. Should have been timing this guy to jab him to the pit right there again. But again, in the moment where you're taking all that punishment, you won't be thinking that. And a lot of the things that you knew before go out the window. You guys have a great one.